possible to switch from a visitor's visa to a permanent residence? Now, if you, like many other people, are wondering if this is a possibility, then you are in luck, because in this video, I'm going to be answering this question, and I'm also going to be telling you some criteria under which you can qualify for a permanent residence. But before I go on, my name is Tari, and on this channel, we'll talk about UK visas and immigration. We talk about life in the UK, how to safely and successfully travel to the UK, how to settle and navigate through life as an immigrant living in the UK. Now, if this sounds like something you're interested in, then please subscribe, turn on your bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my videos going forward. And to my returning subscribers, thank you all so much for always coming back to watch my video. I appreciate every single one of you. The first thing I would like to mention is that getting a permanent residence in the UK does not happen overnight. It is a process, and it takes time for you to be able to get it, depending on whatever route you are on. And like I said before, there are some criteria that you need to meet in order for you to get a permanent residence in the UK. First of all, you need to have been in the UK for a period of time. And again, depending on the route you're coming through, the route you're coming through will determine how many years you need to wait. If you're coming through work visa, or whether you're coming through family, i.e. your spouse visa, or if you're coming through any other means, if that will determine how long you need to have been in the UK for before you can apply for a permanent residence. You also need to make sure that you're able to meet the life in the UK test. So if you want to get a permanent residence in the UK, you would need to do a test which is called a life in the UK test. You also need to be able to prove that you are able to meet the English language requirements, i.e. you need to do an IELTS test, or you need to show that you have a GCSE or university degree. I have made videos about this before, which I'll link up here for you to have a look at the criteria, what's needed for you to be able to get a permanent residence. Also need to be legally resident in the UK, okay, and you also need to have a leave to remain, which means that you are legal in the UK. You need to have a leave to remain for a certain period of time before you can actually get permanent residence. Okay, and to answer your question whether it's possible to get a permanent residence from a visitor's visa, the short answer is no. There's no way you can come to the UK on a visitor's visa and then get a permanent residence with that visitor's visa, because your visitor's visa would last you for 6 months, and it is what it says. It is for a visit. It is not a leave to remain. A leave to remain gives you the right to stay in the UK. Okay, but a visitor's visa is a visa which you used to come for visits, for touring, and then you go back to your country. That's the expectation. So there's no way you're going to get a permanent residence using a visitor's visa. However, if you have been in the UK on a visitor's visa, you're lucky to get a job while you're in the UK on your visitor's visa, and the job you get is a sponsorship job, and the employer is willing to sponsor you in the UK. Then you can then apply for a work visa. Okay, bearing in mind you cannot switch directly. You would need to apply for a different kind of visa, which is a work visa. And once you've been on the work visa, you need to be on that visa for a number of years, 5 years I think, before you can then apply for a permanent residence. Okay, so it's not possible for you to go directly from a visitor's visa to a permanent residence. So you can get a job, apply for a work visa, and after a number of years you can get a permanent residence. If you have a family, maybe you have a spouse in the UK, maybe your husband or your wife lives in the UK and you've come to visit, you can apply for a spouse visa. Okay, so you cannot switch directly. So bear in mind, you cannot switch directly from a visitor's visa to a spouse visa. You have to apply separately for a spouse visa. Okay, and then after a number of years again, you can then get your permanent residence. So there's no way you can get a permanent residence from a visitor's visa. That's not possible. And like I said, unless you've been in the UK legally, you have to have a leave to remain. You have to have been here for a number of for a while. Depending on the kind of visa you are on, the kind of leave to remain you are on, that will determine how many years you're going to stay in the UK before you apply for a permanent residence. And I know some people also go through the 10-year route. I went through the 10-year route to get my permanent residence. So some people need to have been in the UK for up to 10 years. For some people it's 5 years. Okay, so depending on the route that you're on, you get to apply for your permanent residence after a specific period of time. So no, you cannot get a permanent residence from a visitor's visa, okay, like I said before, okay. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has helped you, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and of course subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video.